Hey, what's up, Panther fans? Coming at you here today with a little draft preview. This is going to be quick. I don't really have a lot of time. The past several days have just been really crazy for me. But I will get a more in-depth analysis and a little more detailed video out after the draft, kind of my evaluation of our choices. But I wanted to make sure I get something out there quick, to preview everything because I want to give my thoughts on who we should take. To get down to the wire, we've only got a couple days before the draft. I'm getting really excited. I got my Panthers draft hat with the new logo on it and everything. Really excited about that. But let's see. First round pick, sitting at number 9. I've started narrowing down my choices. I like Luke Kuechly a lot. I think he would be an impact player, even though it's a position of strength for us. Thomas Davis, it's hard to say if he's going to make it through even, half the season, let alone a full season. And, this guy, I was originally kind of cool on him because I was thinking, inside linebacker, we've already got Beeson, but this guy's fast. Yeah, he doesn't play like a typical, big tackler, middle linebacker like, for instance, like Dan Connor was. This guy posted faster 40 times than both Beeson and Davis at the combine. So that says a lot right there. But yeah, I like him a lot. I think if we stay at 9, that would be a good option. Also, I think a decent option would be Fletcher Cox. I think his tape shows that he's a really good player. My main idea for us is to trade down. If at all possible, I think we should trade down. Based on the players that we're looking at, I just don't think. I think the top level talent like Blackman, Khalil, etc. They're not going to fall to 9. They're going to. Who knows? There may be one that surprises us, but it doesn't look like either of those guys are going to fall, along with Claiborne. So I think if none of those fall, then we have to trade down if at all possible. Trade down, pick up an extra third rounder, something like that would help get us back from what we lost in that Greg Olsen trade. Which, don't get me wrong, that trade was well worth the pick, but to get that back would be nice. But if we do trade down, that would put us ideally, around the 15 to 20 range, and there we might be able to get somebody like Dre Kirkpatrick, Michael Brockers, who I like, guys like this, and who knows? Maybe even somebody like Kuechly or Cox or somebody like that will fall down to 15. I doubt it. They're really shooting up draft boards, but I think picking up that extra pick would be really beneficial for us. Now, just saw yesterday that Ron Rivera, Marty Herney went to Chapel Hill to visit Quentin Coples. Coples is a guy that I'm not very sold on. North Carolina defensive end, and I'm a Carolina fan. I've got a Carolina flag hanging in here and everything, but not having a full-time motor really worries me with him. I'm sure he's telling them that he's ready to commit 100%, things like that. But this kind of reminds me of what we've seen from other Carolina defensive ends in the past, not having full effort. But you can't have that with a defensive end. We need somebody with a high motor who's going to get after the quarterback nonstop, relentless. And whether that be a defensive end or a penetrating defensive tackle, either way, we just need to be able to wreak havoc in the backfield. So if they make that pick, I'll hope for the best. But I'm not very high on Coples. I think he's got one of the highest bust potentials of anybody in the top 10 projection right now. So that's about it really for the first round. It's hard to say who's going to be there at this point. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of stuff could happen in that top 10. If, for instance, if the Dolphins don't pick Ryan Tannehill like a lot of people think they will, then that leaves us at 9 with the option of trading out of that pick, with a lot of teams presumably wanting to trade up and try to get Tannehill. So that would be nice if that happened. Or if There's a couple of reaches, which there's always draft day surprises. That's part of the big fun of watching the draft. A couple of big surprises, and who knows, maybe somebody like Blackman will fall to us at 9. Uh, then we look at the second round. We have the 8th pick in the second round. It's hard to project who's going to be around at that point. If Janoris Jenkins is there in the second round and we don't pick a corner in the first round, I think even though he's got the baggage, I think that's a pick that you've got to make. This guy has been touted as a top 10, top 5 potential at cornerback, and just he's got these off-field problems. And, the difference between him and a guy like Cam last year, a lot of Cam stuff I think was rumors, it was things with his dad too. A lot of this stuff seems to be pretty concrete, factual evidence with Janoris Jenkins, but his on-the-field play, speaks for itself on the tape. He's phenomenal. But I think to snag him in the second would be really a steal. Other guys we need to look at in the second round, possibly, wide receiver. There's going to be a whole slew of wide receivers. The wide receiver class is going to be hard to predict. Alshon Jeffrey scares me a little bit. He's fallen, but he reminds me of Dwayne Jarrett in a way, which I hate to put that label on him, but it kind of feels like Dwayne Jarrett. Even though I will say Jeffrey has had a lot of inconsistent quarterback play at South Carolina, so maybe that's something that's affected him. But there's probably going to be another player or two that'll fall unexpectedly into that pick in the second round, and so I'm excited to get to that point though and see what we can grab. But I've got to get out of here right now. I'm getting ready to go pick up a friend of mine at the airport, coming out to hang out, watch the draft and stuff from North Carolina, and then we're going to go see the Dodgers play the Braves tonight out in Dodger Stadium. So I'm a Braves fan. I'm planning on rocking the Braves gear. Let's hope I don't get stabbed or something for my next video. If the next video doesn't come out by like early next week about the draft review, then you might want to, look into calling the cops for me. So I'm just kidding. Nobody call the cops. But you guys have a great draft weekend. Post who you think we should draft. Who's your top targets? Who you think's going to bust? Just give me your thoughts. You can post it in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed, do so already. And we'll talk to you soon. I'm really excited. It's draft time, guys. Go Panthers.